Okay, this is Advent of Code 2020, Day 4, Part 2. So we've listed the valid passports, and now we need to validate each field and count all the passports that are valid with all the fields valid. Okay, exciting. So the birth year can be 1920 to 2020. I think I am going to use that pass display, that thing, and use that to pass things. We can do it, yeah. So we will need all the fields first, so we'll just copy them and go to our code, go home, pub enum. It doesn't need to be pub because there's only one record. Enum field, right? And it can be any one of those BYR, so we'll just put them as, what do you call that thing? Uppercase. Why does all the Vim shortcuts not work on here? Save Vim source main. There you go. So birth year has to, so it's going to be birth year, and it's going to contain U8. U8 and U16. Whatever. It'll get between 1920 and 2, and we'll just put a comment there about what it's about. And it needs a comma. I'll also put the comment in front of it. Issue year, same thing. 4 digits are going to be U16. So if it doesn't pass a U16, it'll definitely be out of scope. I mean, invalid. Expiration year, 4 digits, so same thing. U16. And height, a number followed by either centimeters or inches. So we'll need another enum for that. Enum height, and it will be cm and the number U8 because they're both all inches. And we'll pass that, so that will become height. Height, that's it. Hair color, a hash followed by exactly 6 characters, 0 to 9 or A to F. Oh, how are we going to do that? I guess we'll just put a string. And eye color is going to be exactly one of those. So that'll become another enum. Just put it up here. Enum eye color. Should I use English? Yeah, not American. Let's just save that and open it in Vim. Done. And passport ID, a 9-digit number including leading zeros. I don't know if that thing can do that. We'll just use it for string for now, and then we'll worry about it later. Whoops. And country ID. I'm destroying the names here. I should have. Eye color, where's a U? Should not be destroying the names. You, yeah. What is this thing? HCL, I can't even remember. HCL, hair color. And this is height. There you go, that's some more consistency. Passport ID. So just hitting here, editing this thing. I guess I can cut this out of the YouTube video because nobody cares. CID is country ID, it's already there, and it is ignored. And we will just go. It doesn't matter what order they're in. Yay. Ignored, missing or not. Alright. And then we got to use this parse display derive stuff. So we got to go cargo add parse display. Okay, it's renamed it for me, that's nice. And then we need all that stuff at the top. Control home. It's not going to be snake case, it's like basically lowercase. I'll just paste that in front of all of these. And then we've got to sort out the formatting because the formatting per field is different. Let's go docs.rs parse display. So attributes, we want field attributes. So going to be display equals that or from string. So it's going to be this basically because that does display and parsing. So it's basically just any format, I guess, which we can put on there. Enum display AA. Okay, so we'll just put display. It's gonna be the actually the first parameter followed by CM, or the first parameter followed by inches, right? And then eye color is just lowercase, that's easy. Birth year is gonna be display, it's gonna be literally BYR colon and then the year. And it's gonna be the same for all of these, and I will later on change this BYR to, you know what, I'll do it in Vim now. Vim activate. So for all of these we're gonna go record macro, get that word, insert in front of it, above it, lowercase it, do that. And then we're going to be the same, height, icon, pid, sid. Easy. Oh, easy. That should do the trick. And then we've got to validate it as well, because each of those fields is implement impl field fn is valid self boolean match self. Now we've got to put in all of these. I think this thing can do it. Thank you, Google Code thing. Oh, Microsoft Visual Studio Code thing. I just have to pause. I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm just thinking maybe this should be a struct instead of an enum. Why not, right? Because it's going to have all of those things, and now I've got to name the fields. Yes, I would go like BYR U16 like that, I guess. Looks like a job for them. I think that would work quite well. Okay, let's go. this will become an optional string. I don't know if that the parse, what is that thing called? The parse display will handle that well. Okay, we'll find out. Okay, and then we don't need this match anymore. So if the thing is valid, it's got to have all 8 of those, which I guess it's going to do. Let's just look at the docs for parse display and see if it handles option. I will pause my video while I read. So it turns out that parse display requires the struct fields to be ordered somehow. There's a regex thing, but I don't think that's going to work for us. So it's saying this is a group name P, I don't know, and it's got the field A in it, and it's got to be 0 to 9 plus. And then underscore underscore, so the struct needs to be ordered, so our data is not ordered, so we will need to undo all those changes that I just did. Beep, undo, undo, undo. BY just become an enum. So there's no such thing as a struct anymore. As a record, it's just a field. It's interesting that I can use those regexes though, because that will help with the parsing. But do I need to? Yeah, because that other one had, okay, now we'll just parse it after we've read it. Oh, this one could, the PID, because it's a 9-digit number including leading zeros, so we could add in there that. And it's going to be 0 to 9. How do you go? Just go for that, I think, to say not 9, because there's going to be 9 of them. 0 to 9. It's still not going to get the leading zeros. I guess it doesn't matter, because yeah, whether there's leading zeros or not, as long as there's 9 digits, it's valid. Great. Let's continue our fun quest, and then we're going to validate it again. So first we'll parse it, then we'll see if it's valid, and we're going to do the match again, match self, and do the magical override. He's read my one, so it's also C. Okay, hang on. Compare. We want all of this side. Do we want like that? Okay, I just overrode it with what I don't want. And I have to put it all back again manually. Not knowing how to use the tools. Record macro. Now it is a. It's not such thing as option anymore, because it's going to be a string. Done. Save. Load. Fill match arm. Yay. So BYR is 4 digits, and it has to be between 1920 and 2002. So we'll put here year, and we're going to be year 1920 is less than or equal to year, which is less than or equal to 2002. And at most, okay, and that's nice and easy. Okay, IR is 4 digits, 2010 and 2020, and is a year. 2010 is less than or equal to year and, which is yes and equal to 2020. I think you can do this in Rust. I'm not sure. I guess we'll find out when we do some tests. EYR is expiration year, 4 digits, at least 2020 and at most 2030. 2020, 2030. Height, we've got there, it's already, it should have its own, because it's got its own field, it should also have its own validation check. I guess it's already passing, it's got some number and which has to be passed as a U8 and centimeters and inches, and that's exactly what it says here. Either cm or inches, and as to if it's cm, it has to be 193. If it's inches, it has to be 59. Okay, so we can just do that in here. Height, and then this is going to be height cm, centimeters, and we'll match that. It has to be 150 and 193, and then if we do it in inches, it has to be between 59 and 76. Thank you, Rust people, for making the match statement very nice. HCL is hair color, a hash followed by 6 characters of 0 to 9 or A to F. I could probably use that regex stuff. Do I need to? Should I bother? I guess it's gonna help. I could just validate it with a regex right here, though I think I have to go cargo add regex. Cargo add regex. I'll just do it here. I mean, it's read it into a field. It's got HCL. No, what are we doing? HCL, which is hair color, eye color. Our HCL is already done. Why am I even worrying about hair color is hash? Okay, so that's has to match regex match. Let's look at the docs for regex so we know how to match regex new. I guess we could store it and use it later. Avoid compiling the same regex in a loop. Lazy static, we could use that. Yeah, let's do a lazy static regex like they said. Can we compile the regex at compile time? Because that would be really nice. I don't think you can. It would be super handy. I think I'll just do it. I'll just pass through the cars, the character. I will change the. I will get rid of regex because it's pretty simple. It's a hash, and so we need to say color dot cars dot first dot. I've got to make sure that I've got to check the first as a hash. I guess we should just go, let's do the whole thing. Color dot len is greater than 1, and color 0 equals hash. Can we even do that with those strings? I guess we can. And color dot cars dot skip the first one, then all the other ones dot all has to be either C is, we're going to put, yeah, A is greater than, less than or equal to C, which is less than or equal to F. Or 0 is less than or equal to C, which is less than or equal to F. No, 9. That's it. That means it's a valid string. So it has to have a length more than 1. The first one has to be a hash, and all the other ones, skipping the first one, have to be between A and F or 0 to 9. Is that what it says there? Where am I even? HCL. Hair color. 6 characters of 0 to 9, A to F. So the len has to be precisely 7. That's great. Okay, that's how we know hair color is valid or not. ECL, eye color, exactly one of those. So that's already fixed. So that's gonna work. If it works, it works. So we don't even care about that. We'll just put true. Next, do we need to put a comma there? I guess we do. That's not a comma. That's a comma. PID is, that's what I did, a 9-digit number including leading zeros. So pid.cars.all, I think there's like a is numeric or something. We can like just search it is numeric. Car is numeric. There you go. We can just put here car is numeric. And the link, okay. pid.len has to be, what is it? A 9-digit number. And all the characters have to be numeric. And that's it. Done. And CID, we don't care. It's always valid. Done. So that's how we tell if a field is valid. And how do we tell if a, I guess we're going to do that later. So now we're checking, we do the first count, run the part 1 validation check. That's part 1, which just says that it's that all the fields have to be 8 or 7. This is the record, and CID can be missing. Then we're going to do it again, run the part 2 validation check, and we will go dot filter all the fields dot all is valid, and that's it. So field is valid. Return the new count. We needed a count there. Can we, I guess we could just put dot inspect. We'll go let part 1 count equals 0, and then we can just add an inspect here. It doesn't even matter what this thing is, because if it gets there, we just go part 1 count plus equals 1. I guess I am breaking all the functional language rules by having it do a outside mutation. Okay, part 1 count and count the part 1. So I guess part 2 is always going to be a little bit less. Save. Any errors? A comma missing. Any more errors? That's it. Save. Oh, that's like not even a real thing. Save. Any more errors? Comparator cannot be chained. Oh, that's so sad. Split the comparison into two. Has it got a an error number for that? Because I would be interested to see. Years less of this and years there. Oh look, it's got help. Maybe the good old flip binary expression. No. I can't just do it for me. Okay, it's time for a Vim then. Okay, so we're gonna have to go. I'll go here. QQ. That's it. Next. Next. C is less than. A is less than a C. Less than or equal to C. So and C. Whoops, there's missing stuff here. Less than or equal to F. So this becomes an and or thing. So the C has to be A has to be less than C, and C has to be less than F, or 0 has to be less than C, and C has to be less than 9. That makes sense to me. Well, I would have liked it like a between operator, which would be great. Rust check if between two values. There's probably a function for it. I don't really want to range. I just want to see if it's between two values. I guess we could do it like that. Yeah. It looks nice. That's pretty easier to read than this less than equal to stuff. So we will go. So the 1920 2002 equals 2002. I don't think it's going to be any less efficient to do it this way. Dot contains year. That's nice. Okay. 2020 dot equals we're still recording. Dot equals that's nice. Yeah, that's easier to read. 150 to 193. $59.76 dot contains inches. And then the same here. I don't think you can do ranges of characters, can you? This is already going to give us an error. I have to change it to a U8, a byte, or 0 dot equals 9 dot contains C. That is easier to read. I don't think it's going to like this, the mismatched types. Yeah. So if we make it a U8, let's see what it's complaining about. Oh, that's easy. Okay. This thing just loaded, right? I think the U8 should have been at the beginning anyway, but whatever. So that's happy, and then we just put a C in front of it. Now it's happy. No, it's not. The type car cannot be dereferenced. Okay, now what's it complaining about? I expected that. What if I... Oh, that works. That's awesome. Thank you, Rust people. This contains one argument, 0. I'm not calling the function, I'm just passing it to the all. Next. What's wrong with that? No method named all found for vec dot iter dot all. What's wrong with that? Type mismatch function argument is expected a string. No, it's a field. Let's look at it in Clippy. String cannot be indexed by integer. Okay. So we've just got to go color dot first equals sum hash. I guess we can go cars dot first. That seems a very long-winded way to say the first character in a string. Rust, how to access the first character of a string. It's a common thing. Cars.next. Wow, that's just sad, man. There should be a nicer way of doing it. And a for loop that's even worse. Arrange. That's... Why has it got negative? That's a good answer. Completely wrong. Non-ASCII, blah blah blah. Okay. Okay, well, it looks like we got the best way of doing it. Iterate through the characters, take the first one and make sure that it is some hash and not none. Wow. Next. Okay, what's next error? Type mismatching function unexpected string. Found signature. Maybe this would explain it better. I found signature for fn field. Yeah. The fields are still strings. We haven't parsed them into field objects yet. So we will go field string. Field.path. We're just going to go OK because we'll ignore flat ones. No, but then we've got okay. Let's make a new collection of the fields. Okay. So turn the text into fields, and yeah, the field into field objects. So we're gonna get the fields, and we're going to return a vec of field, and we're going to go fields dot into iter dot parse, not dot map, dot parse, and we're going to flat map because we're going to say we're going to ignore anything that's dot OK. So we're going to parse it, and if it's an error, we just turn it into an OK, an option, right? Print an option, and flat map will ignore nuns in the option. That's great. Then we need to collect. Now we've got a filter that it still contains the 8 or 7 fields like before. Turn the text into fields, field enums, removing invalid fields. Check the new length of the fields. If it has reduced, the whole record is invalid. Right, and that's here, and this is going to be fields, and we've got to go fields.len. Just copy all that. But then this one, any, it's going to be match. If let sum, not sum, it's field. What's the one that's optional? CID. Equals field true, else false. So if it has a CID, so if none of them are CID fields, then it's invalid. 8 fields is a valid record. 7 fields is only valid as long as the missing one is CID, i.e. all present fields are not CID fields. That makes sense. I'll put that comment up there too. Anything else is not valid. Hey, copy. My finger's not working. Paste. Thank you. So count the part 1 fields that are valid. That's already done. Then that's going to work, right? Run the part 2 validation check. Turn the text into field enums, removing invalid fields. That's what we're doing. So field into the flat map, field of parse.ok. That's great. Collect. Check the length again. And then now we check all the valid fields. Do the second level validation check on each field. I guess we could have done it up there, but we could also do it here. That's it. Field is valid. Turn the new count. Done. Except that doesn't work. That function for some reason doesn't like it. Giving disclosure of parameter type, and that is on line 99. I can't go. I just got to type it in there. looks fine. Why is it complaining now? Type must be known at this point. Oh, well, that's already known. And vec and string. It's because we can't do into iter because we are just referencing it. Who owns it then? Okay, then we don't need to do that. We're just going to reference it. Consider giving it. Okay. Then we will try doing that. Now what happens? Oh, it's even more errors. Yeah. The fun of programming. Expected type vec found boolean. This shouldn't be a filter. It should be a map, shouldn't it? And then we don't need this anymore. And then maybe we can do into iter. Wow, it works all of a sudden. I haven't done any testing. 100, 226, 160. Before we submit it, I'll do tests. Or should I? CFG. What am I doing? CFG test. Mod tests. We'll use that provided code here. Too much work. I don't feel like it. I change my mind. I'm just going to submit the answer and see what happens. 160. Yay, we win. Okay, stop recording.